Tour stories. We say them and then you listen to them. Here we go.
Fuck, marry, kill. This episode, the next episode, or the last episode. Fuck.
I'm Tommy Dillon. I'm Matty Winkler. This is our podcast, DWP. Let's go!
Clap and clap.
Oh, damn.
Oh,
Damn. It's a Dillon Winkler podcast.
Oh,
Damn. It's a Dillon Winkler podcast.
Dillon Winkler podcast.
Who are you?
I'm Tommy Dillon.
That's good.
Who are you?
Oh, I'm Matthew Winkler.
Yeah, who you at? Where you close at?
I'm a teenage dirtbag. My name is Noelle. I had a dream about her.
She rings my bell.
Weep, weep, weep. Also, the dude from New Radicals.
That's-
Got some music in you.
That
One of the best
song
songs
is
of
so
all time.
good.
One of the best
I
songs of
love
all
that
time.
song so much.
And then Felix Cartel or whatever her name is covered it in the recent years, and it's not as good as the
Oh,
New
yeah, I
Radicals.
heard that. Yeah. No, it's not.
You know why? Because the New Radicals version is 5 minutes long, so the song never ends.
Boxing shoots went back and had it.
so
Only love and Marilyn Manson there.
Oh,
We'll kick
Kids.
their asses.
is it kick their asses or kick their ass in?
Kick their ass in?
I don't know, man.
I'm
not a
gonna
new-
kick
I'm not a
your
New Radical.
ass in.
Listen, kids, the 90s were a crazy time.
It was great. I loved the 90s.
I did love the 90s. By the way, you just purchased the Garfield book that we talked
Yeah,
about in
the
the last
Garfield
episode.
book of insults put down in the slams. I got it from the Scholastic Book Fair when I was in grade 8.
Yeah.
And it changed my life. I was
And-
like, oh, I'm gonna be this person from
And,
now on.
and guess what you just did?
What?
You bought it again.
I bought it again.
So in a future episode, we're going to slam each other Garfield style.
We'll go back and forth.
Yeah, let's slam each other Garfield style.
Let's slam each other Garfield style on a Monday with lasagna.
Baby. He hates Mondays. Does that mean that that's the only day he doesn't get lasagna? Do you think that that's like, okay, it's vegetarian Monday, like we have to eat healthy?
Probably.
And
John
he's like-
Arbuckle's a real asshole.
Don't get me started on Arby.
Fucking
On
John
Arby's.
Arbuckle.
Have you seen the what's it called? No, John without Garfield or something like that?
Yeah, it's Garfield without Garfield.
Garfield without
It's
Garfield.
just John, and he's like a
Talking to
fucking
himself.
psychopath.
Yeah. Good stuff.
I
good
watched
stuff, good
the
stuff.
episode of I Think You Should Leave when they're doing the intervention in the Garfield house.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Is that a real thing, the Garfield house, or did they just
No,
make it up? They just
yeah,
made it up.
yeah.
The amount of drugs you have to be on to be like, and then in this sketch, it's an entire house is full of Garfield, and everyone's like, "I man,
Well, they're like, and I just Googled it.
it's not
The
his
guy who
house."
made Garfield never lived here. The guy who tried to assassinate the guy who made Garfield lived here.
So they found my biography.
Your bibliography.
How are you?
I'm okay, man.
We never talked about like how we've been in the last few weeks. We
I
just
know.
went right into fucking.
You had a
Mary
pretty
Kill last
cool
week.
job.
I did. I was the in-arena DJ for the World Women's Championship Hockey Tournament, and it was the best job I've ever had in my entire life.
Do you know what a DJ would name their child?
DJ.
Eric.
That's really good.
Hey, you're welcome. Anyways, let's talk about your cool job.
Yeah, it was awesome. I met a ton of awesome people. I got to watch hockey like nonstop for a week and a half, and it was so much fun.
Did you have the arena hot dogs?
No, I brought sandwiches from home.
Why? You
Uh,
didn't get a per diem for food?
no, I think I put in my contract that they didn't have to worry about feeding me. I know I'm a dum-dum, but here's the thing: when you really want to work for a company, sometimes you gotta sacrifice a lot of stuff.
You gotta sacrifice eating, being alive,
Being a
drinking
human,
water.
they treat you like meat.
You had to wear a diaper.
Had to wear a diaper for 14 hours, even when I was at home.
It was getting real puffy. We got a puffy D.
It was a puffy day.
Hey, it's old Tommy D with Puffy B. Vipers.
I love a pooping in my viper.
I love a boobing in my
We're gonna
vipers.
cut this.
Why would we cut it?
Cause I don't want to boop in my viper, dude. I can't have it getting out that I'm a viper booper.
Well, that's the first.
I'm a
I
viper.
can't have it out that I'm a boober viper.
I'm a viper.
It sounds like a
I
a
booped in-
doo-wop gang.
I booped in my viper.
I booped in my viper. I drove in my Viper, it got out, and I booped in my Viper.
And clap. Welcome to the DWP. I want to keep my job and keep working for the company, so I'm not leaving that in the podcast. Tommy, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. That sucked. We'll probably keep some of that in, and then it'll cut straight to me starting all over again. No, I had a really good week. I did a job that was I'm not going to talk about at all.
It was a
So,
good job.
Yeah, it was a good job.
You DJ.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's really cool. You look like you were having a lot of fun.
It was really cool. It was like part of a big production. So like, I had like a headset on, and someone's talking to me. They're like, "Okay, Matthew, we're gonna go to this in 3, 2," and they have to like cue it up.
Oh,
So it's
did you have to do the announcements too? Like, let's give it up for
No, they had someone else doing that, but I was like, all the goal horns. So if someone I had to watch, so if someone scored, it went.
Oh, that's so cool.
And then I got to play their like goal. Every team had like a specific goal song.
Well, so did each country have a song from their country that they
Yes.
had wanted to play? Oh,
Yeah.
okay, cool.
Yeah, want to guess what this? Okay, so you won't be able to recognize like Finland's, even though the
Yeah,
best Finland and Germany had the best goal songs.
Really.
They were insane. I don't know what they're called, but they were amazing.
One of my favorite bands is from Finland.
What are they called?
They're called Lordi.
Oh.
They're like the Finnish Guar.
Cool.
They won Eurovision's 2007 for their song Hard Rock Hallelujah, and they're dressed like monsters, and it's pretty sick.
I think I've seen that.
I love them so much.
That's awesome.
Sorry, go on. So
Let's see if you can guess what Canada's like. You see if you can guess the artist. Guess the artist for Canada's goal song, and guess the artist for US's goal song, because this is hilarious. And then we can dwindle it down to the song, maybe if you know about the
Canada, Shania Twain.
100% correct, my friend. That's
Man,
awesome.
I Feel Like a Woman.
No, but
No.
that would have been good.
Um.
It's a lesser known tune. You might not know it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Party for Two.
No, but that's a great song.
That song's
Which
great.
version? The Bryan Adams or the Mark McGrath? No,
The
wait.
Mark McGrath one.
Wait, no. Bryan Adams didn't do
did,
it.
Vitamin C.
No, Mel C.
Mel C. Sorry, yeah.
And they did "Baby When You're Gone," which
That
is one of
song
my
is
favorite
so
songs of
good.
the '90s.
Baby, when you're gone,
I
I
realize
feel like
I'm
I'm
in
in
love.
love.
And then,
Days go on and on,
and
the nights just feel
so
so long. Even food don't taste like good.
I'll let you
Shania
guess.
Twain, also, by the way,
Amazing.
she's one of the most beautiful people in the world.
She's the Nicole Kidman of Canada.
I saw.
Just doesn't get just keeps being one of the most beautiful looking people.
I saw Shania Twain
Or Kate Beckinsale.
on my birthday, like 5 or 6 years ago.
Wait. How? Like, oh, you saw her live?
I saw her live.
Oh, I thought she like came to your party.
I wish
That'd be
I'd
awesome.
propose to her, but no,
Uh-oh,
it was
don't
like
say
her.
that.
It was probably longer than that. It was her first show she did after being gone for so long.
Baby When She's Gone.
Yeah,
She came back and she did a show. I actually saw her. Yeah, I saw her in tour. I saw her in Ottawa with my sisters.
Oh, with Gavin DeGraw.
No,
I think Gavin DeGraw opened that.
you
show.
love Gavin DeGraw.
Do I though?
You don't?
I don't know.
I don't want to be anything other than what I've been trying to be lately.
Let's see. Any Man of Mine?
No,
That don't
No.
impress me much.
no, but
That would be weird as a goal.
So
song.
that was my penalty box song. One of my penalties.
Oh,
So when someone got a penalty,
That's
oh,
great.
Theo Rocket Scientist. That don't impress me much.
Man, I don't know. What was it?
Giddy up.
Oh, I don't really know that song.
Yeah, I'm saying it's a
Oh, it's a
lesser known
new
tune.
one.
Newer, yeah. When did it come
It
out?
came out this year.
There you go.
Wow, cool. And what was the United States?
Guess the band. If you can guess the band, that's because you got Shania Twain. Guess the band. Okay, think. I'm gonna give you a hint. Think like, don't think Hick America.
Mhm.
Think like fucking like. Think Guy Fieri America.
Oh, okay.
That's a big hint if you know.
Female artist?
No.
Male artist?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Band.
Band.
What's a band that does terrible songs? Just name a band that does terrible songs.
Saliva.
No. We're talking about Guy Fieri here. Are you leaning towards metal with Guy Fieri? Is that where your mind goes?
I don't know. He's got fire shirts.
I shoot at that fire shirts.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm at a loss here.
I'll see if I can help you a little more.
So it would be the United States goal song.
Yeah,
An
it's really
American
bad.
artist.
It was literally the worst. I hated when the States scored because I had to play this song every time.
Yeah, I don't know.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
It is from Shrek 2. Smash
Smash
Mouth's
Mouth-
cover of I'm a Believer.
Oh my god.
It was so bad, my
Oh
dude.
my god.
It was the worst.
why?
It was the worst. It was the worst. It was the worst. It was the worst. I hated it so much.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, it's a terrible
Why would-
choice.
Why?
I don't know who chose it. I
And I
hope
saw her face. And you had
Yeah.
to. Did they,
14 times the first game.
They scored 14 goals?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Or something like that. Thanks, Phil Kessel's sister.
Yeah. Yeah, Kessel sister. Castle Siester.
So those are the two that I knew.
That's
The
rough.
two songs I knew.
You didn't know any of the other ones.
No, they're all in foreign languages.
That's cool though.
But Germany's was sick.
Was it Rammstein?
I wish, man. It should have been.
I love Rammstein.
Here's the thing. I looked up like the age demographic of people in the tournament, and there's like a 16-year-old on like team on one of the teams.
Really?
Yeah, like it's like crazy to like, and then like Marie-Philippe Poulin, who's like the captain of the Leafs or the Canada team, the Red Leafs.
Yeah.
Is I think in early 30s maybe.
I met Cassie
funny.
Campbell and Haley Wickenheiser when I was a teenager.
Dude, legends,
Legends.
absolute legends.
Nicest people ever. They were nicer than the Leafs I met, I'll tell you that much.
Oh yeah, the ones that showed up in your hospital and played your video games and ate your food.
Yeah.
And Cecil just looked at the window.
Shitty.
I don't want to take big stinking duties on Quebecois people, but man, the attitude.
Oh my God. I remember the first time I went to Quebec, I was on tour with Teeter, and I went into a fucking McDonald's, okay? I went into a McDonald's in Quebec. We're in an English-speaking country. I know that you're French, but like I don't speak French because I'm from the big city of Tirana. So we go to McDonald's. The menu is in English, okay? The menu is in English and French.
Yeah.
And I go, hello, can I get a McChicken, a number 4? And she went, huh? I was like,
no.
McChicken number 4? And she's like, a Francais? I'm like, fucking numero 4 McPoulet. Like, you know what I'm saying, right? And she goes, did you want fries with that? In English. And I was like, oh, you fucking asshole. I was so upset. I was so
I love how we just finished praising Marie-Philippe Poulin, who's
Yeah.
clearly from
Yeah.
Quebec. And you're like, but they all suck.
But that was the first ever tour that Teeter did.
Yeah.
That shit was crazy. So I was booking the shows while we were on tour.
So like you didn't have a show in the next city.
No, so we played in Montreal. We played in Montreal. Montreal.
This would have been what, 2003,
3, 4,
Ooh,
maybe
yeah.
early.
Yeah.
But so we played in Montreal. We played at this place called Café L'Incondensiel.
Okay.
And our guarantee was $300 and a place to sleep, or $350, no place to sleep. So we're like, well, I booked a show in Pembroke, Nova Scotia, or New Brunswick.
Yeah.
The
Pembroke.
Yeah,
New
New Brunswick.
How do I not know this?
I think
I think it might be New Brunswick. I'm going to look it up.
Yeah. So anyway, I booked a show in New Brunswick the next day, which was like a 12-hour drive or something like that.
Pembroke is in Ontario.
Okay, so then it's not Pembroke.
It's near the Ottawa River.
Penticton?
Penticton's in BC, so you definitely didn't do that.
Okay. Okay, I don't know. I don't remember what city it was.
Fredericton? New Brunswick?
We had a show in Fredericton that fell through.
That makes sense.
That
checks.
Let's see here. Okay, I don't remember the city, but it was somewhere in New Brunswick. Anyways, it was like a 12-hour drive from Montreal.
Right.
So we're like, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to play, we're going to get the fuck out of there and drive through the night and then sleep as much.
So you're taking the $350. You're taking the extra $50.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we get outside, the van and trailer are blocked in the parking lot. And we're like, the fuck? So we start like, whose cars are these? Like yelling out. No one, but like we were in a parking lot, and where our van was a fence that led to an alleyway, but the fence was locked by a chain.
Right.
So I took a shopping cart filled it with bricks and was ramming this fence, trying to break it.
Yeah.
As I'm trying to break this fence, all these lights start turning on. And we're like, oh, fuck. We're like, we got to get the fuck out of here. So I break the fence finally, but the angle is so bad, we have to take the trailer off, pull the van up, and then physically pull the trailer and put it on. As we're doing this, we hear cops because they're coming because we're breaking fences trying to get
right.
Out. So
but you're doing the right thing.
So
you're
we bolt out of there. As we're driving up the hill, our trailer comes off, but it's hanging on by a thing. So we just see in the mirror just sparks, and we're like, holy shit. So then we're driving through Quebec trying to get to New Brunswick. Blizzard so bad we can't see the roads. So we pull over on the side of the highway. We're like, we're just going to sleep until the morning. We wake up a couple hours after that by honking We think we were gonna get hit by a car. We realized we're in a Starbucks parking lot. Thought we were on the highway. So then,
wait. So you're going 120 in a Starbucks parking lot?
no, we weren't. We were going very slow because we couldn't see anything.
And how did?
We thought we were on the highway,
And then how'd you?
and we just pulled over on the shoulder.
And the shoulder was a Starbucks parking lot.
Yeah.
Okay. I like
and then
this.
and then we so we're driving to the city in New Brunswick, and one of our tires on our trailer explodes on the highway just outside of Fredericton. Now, for some reason, in either of the majoring cities, there was no Canadian Tire. So we had to take the trailer off. 2 people had to take the van to go get a tire from, I think it was in Moncton.
Right.
And then we had to stay on the side of the highway.
With a trailer full of equipment.
With a trailer full of equipment with one wheel. After a couple hours, they finally get there. Then we have our maps and we're like, okay, if we leave now, we'll get to the show as doors are opening.
Right.
So we spent all this money.
And there's no like cell phone. You have a cell phone at this point or no?
We did, yeah. But it was,
We collectively had one cell phone.
Yeah, it was not a good one. But so we're like, well, we made a call saying we might be late, but no one answered.
Good.
So then
That's the way
we're
business is
driving
run.
our balls off down this highway after fixing a tire. We're trying to make the show so hard. As soon as we get to the venue, it's on fire and no one's there.
The building's on fire and no one's there.
So the show got canceled because the show was the venue was on fire. So our next show was in Halifax.
Yep. This is the same tour that I did in 2011.
Yeah. So then we go to Halifax. We hang out at this house party, and then we stay at this guy's house who's helping me book the tour, but not really. And we slept on his living room floor for a couple days. His mom made us spaghetti and like punch bowls and shit.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
And then we played in Halifax, and then we went to this place called the Dome, and it was like dollar beer nights or whatever. I don't know what the fuck. But then
that makes sense.
But then the guy who was helping us was like, "Hey, I got you a show in Sydney tomorrow," and we're like, "Oh, okay."
Like, that's too far.
So Sydney was like a 5-hour drive from Halifax.
Oh, okay.
And
I thought you were talking about.
no, Sydney,
down under.
So Sydney, Nova Scotia, and then so we drive it on that highway. It's just 2 lanes on the side of a cliff with no lights, so you can't see shit.
Man, you and I have a story for you. We have very similar stories.
But then this guy behind us was flashing his high beams, and we're like, "Fuck this guy!" So we pull over, and he's like, "Oh, your trailer's open." So we go to the back. Our amps are hanging off the trailer. The only thing we lost was a rug for the drums.
Whoa, that's amazing.
Mike Sleeth only lost a rug.
Mike Sleeth,
drummer for Shawn Mendes and someone else right now. I think he's in Australia right now. Who knows?
he's in Sydney doing a show.
Yeah. But then,
Sleepy
so we get
baby.
to Sydney, and we're supposed to play at a place called St. Albans Hall.
Okay.
We show up, not a soul in sight. We're like, it's weird. So
He just wanted to get you off of his fucking
we're
floor.
We're waiting in the parking lot, and then we see a priest come out of the church, and I go up. I'm like, "Hey, we're playing in the basement today. We're gonna have a show." He's like, "My son, do you know what today is? It's Good Friday."
There's no show here on Good
There's no
Friday.
show day on Good Friday, and we're like, "What the fuck?" And then the guy wouldn't answer our calls, and he fucked us. And so we were driving 10 hours out of the way on a tour that we lost so much money on.
Yeah.
Because also to start the tour, when we left, our van's transmission blew as we were getting onto the highway to go to our first show. So then,
I would just call that a full tour cancel.
But then we're in Sydney. I get us a show the next day in Brampton, which is an 18-hour drive.
Yeah, and you're going past downtown Toronto.
Yeah.
By the way, Brampton's where I spent the last week and a half doing this.
It was in Brampton.
It was in Brampton.
Nice.
Yeah. God bless my father who drove me there and picked me up every single day.
Man.
He's a legend. He's a hockey dad through and through. He loved the drives with me. We had really nice heart-to-heart chats. But the drives,
he at all the games?
No, he drove home and would drive back and get me and drive home.
Wow,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
an all-star!
Yeah, at the end of it, he goes, "I'm not doing that again." And I said, "No one asked you, Dad. No one asked you, bud. You didn't have to do it."
But yeah, so we drove 18 hours
I love you,
to
Dad.
our
Thank you
show
so
in
much.
Brampton,
Yes,
and the show was great because
you're in Brampton.
that band was weirdly big in Brampton.
Yeah,
And that was the first taste of any sort of tour that we did.
that's wild. So I'll tell you a
Let's
quick
hear
tour.
it. Let's
I'll
hear
tell you a
it.
Quebec tour story. This is actually an opposite. This is actually like nice people. This is nice Quebec people.
Oh, must be nice. Quit bragging.
So,
Quit bragging. You just
so
touched
we
me.
did a little show, and I'm talking about.
One more time.
I was in a band called Careers in Science,
That's a cool name.
and we were like a proto-punk band, progressive punk kind of style, so short songs, real heavy hitters. You know, we're actually putting out an album called Closure this year, which is the last 3 songs we wrote with our ex-drummer, rest in peace.
Oh wow.
So we're releasing those,
Nice.
which is actually gonna be really fun. I'm super excited for it. Anyways, on our first tour, we called it Tour 1011. We were playing. We did this. We're coming back. And we're playing Quebec City.
Sorry, just to get you off.
Yep.
That reminds me, that tour that I was just talking about,
Yeah.
it was called the First Time Always Hurts tour. And
It hurt.
It hurt a lot.
Oof.
So go on.
So we're in Quebec, and we're opening for this band who's actually fairly popular, and like it's like a pretty busy show.
What band?
I forget what they were called.
Not that popular.
No, they're not popular anymore. They were popular then. Much like most bands that were popular in 2011. Most of them didn't make it.
Didn't make it.
What was it? Oh yeah, so we're playing this, and then this guy named Chris comes up to us, and he goes, "Boys," he's like, "you guys are a great set, man. You guys are awesome. This and this." He goes, "You guys got a place to crash tonight?" And we're like, "No, man, no." He's like, "Oh, well, if you want to come over, I'm about a 15-minute drive up the mountain. The kids and the wife are away for the weekend. You guys can crash. You crash at my place, whatever you want." He's like, "I got, I'll make you some toast in the morning. It'll be great." And we go, "Sure, man, that sounds awesome. Thank you so much." So we play the show, and then we're getting in the car, and he goes, "I'll take 2 of you guys with me, and then you 2 stay back and follow me with the car." And we're like, "Okay." So me and my buddy go with him, and then and 2 guys stay back. And the 2 guys that stayed back, we had phones at the time.
Now, with this guy, paint me a word picture. Was he an older gentleman?
He was an
your
older
age?
gentleman. He was probably in his, I would have been 12 years younger then. So he was maybe just older than me. Maybe I'd say his early 40s.
Wow. And he was at the show alone?
He was at the show alone.
Okay.
So we're driving back
This is
up,
getting
and so
interesting.
we're texting each other,
It's
and
like a human centipede
and the
situation.
driver of the car that's following, one of the guys in that car texts and goes, "We're almost out of gas." Like, and we're driving uphill, and like we're almost out of gas, and I'm like, I was texting back, "Just keep plugging away, man. You have to make it to this house, because me and Callum, if we were here alone, we're so dainty."
Yeah.
So we're in the car with the other guy, and he's like talking about how great we were. He's like, "Oh man, I'm so glad you guys are staying over. This is gonna be so much fun." He's like, "I got a jam space. You guys can jam if you want tonight." We're like, "Cool, man. Like, we're kind of just really tired. Just probably gonna go to sleep." And he goes, "Oh, by the way, I have to say I lied to you guys. My wife is here. She'll be sleeping when you guys show up, and tomorrow I have to leave for work super early, so you'll be alone with her there. But just help yourself to some breakfast and leave whenever you want. If you guys want to shower or whatever, is like my wife will be fine."
That sounds sketchy.
So we go, "Okay, cool, man, thanks." So I'm texting the guys in the car, being like, "The wife's here, and he's leaving at like 7 a.m. Like, what's going on?" He's like, the guy's like, "We'll get up at 6:30. I'll be fine. Don't worry." So we get to the house. We go in. He's like, "There's my jam space in the basement." Like, we're like, "Cool." He's like, "So 2 of you guys can sleep down here, and the other 2 can like sleep in the girls' rooms, like in the girls' bedroom, like the daughter's bedrooms." So I go in there with me and Callum, because we're both daintier. And we're like, "We'll go in there," and we go in there, and it is like chock full of like Lilo and Stitch and stuff. And I'm like, I do not. Yeah, Kermit says hee haw, and we did not sleep in that room. Like, we're
You're
laying there
terrified.
being like, this is the scariest thing of all time. So we wake up in the morning.
Yeah,
before-
but if he comes in the room and he's like, "Fuck, marry, kill," but I'm already married. So who's up?
Who's up? And so we get up before him and we skadoots. Ends up being like, he's like a nice guy. Anyway, 2 years later, we do another show in Quebec, and he shows up. And he goes, "Hey, man, if you guys want to crash at my place again," he's like, "I moved, but I'm actually closer. So you guys want to come?" Like,
My
sweet.
wife left me after I left her with a bunch of. Actually, is that what happened?
So I don't think it was because of that, but probably was because of that. But
You just kept bringing young boys to the house.
he's
and
like, yeah, he's like, but I got the pad to myself and this and that. I'm like, "Oh, cool, man." He's like, "Yeah, it's, wife left with the kids, and kept the place, and so I had to grab my own. But it's a cool pad. It's a cool pad." And so he comes to the show and he brings us a big pot of spaghetti, and he brings us garlic bread, and he lets us crash at his other apartment that's wifeless and kidless.
And you went.
And we went and we stayed the night. And I'm alive to talk about it today.
Wow.
But it was very creepy.
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah, it was very creepy. And it was like midnight. Like it was like driving up to this guy's house in the middle of the mountains.
You think that he was just like
He's just a really nice guy.
or do you think like he was like he has a room with like pictures of you and like news clippings and like just like counting down the days to your next show and be like, I will get them back again. Wife be damned, daughter be damned. I will get that band in my domicile one more time, and my plan will be complete. I'm gonna glue them all together and make a giant rat king out of boy band people. And I will bounce that rat king ball up and down on my knee. Is that what it is?
No, I'm
If
gonna.
it bleeds, we could kill it.
Here's the thing. I've thought about it a lot over the years, and although it is a pretty scary story, I don't really like shitting on people for being just genuinely nice.
I know. I think it's just like I've been hurt so many times.
Oh my
that
gosh.
If someone's nice to me, I don't trust it.
Yeah, I honestly just think he's a guy who wanted to be in a band so bad his whole life,
Yeah.
but just sucked at music.
But he had a jam space.
He did have a jam space, and he tried to get us a jam, and
He's like, hey,
we did not.
Like
We
that
did
guy
not
at the
jam.
party. He's like, hey, let me see if that guitar's tuned.
Today
Proud of
is
you as
gonna
a
be the
wonderland.
day. And that's another episode of
The DWP. Thank you for watching.
And if you don't watch, thanks for listening.
Yeah, please share and subscribe. You can watch us on YouTube and the Spotify's and Anchor, wherever you get your podcasts. Those 3 places.
Those 3. You can only watch it at 3 places and listen at 3 places. Thank you for listening to our last episode. It was an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, we got a guy from Quebec. He's going to drive us to his apartment. He now lives in a studio apartment.
Yeah, we're gonna do a fuck, marry, kill, and it's gonna be me and Tommy doing all 3. It's gonna be a weird ceremony. It's gonna be a weird love fest, and then we're gonna cease to exist.